METV. I'm Charles Clapsaddle, Station Manager for Manatee Educational Television. And in a community, nothing to me seems more important than a good library system. And on today's program, we're very fortunate to have with us the Library Services Manager, Ava Eady, to talk a little bit about the great public library system in Manatee County and some of the services and resources and innovations that they're doing. Ava, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm really anxious to learn a lot more about the library system and all of the great projects and services that you offer. First of all, tell us about the expanse of the library system. How many branches in Manatee County are offered?
There are 6 altogether. There's the Island branch, which is out on Anna Maria Island, Braden River, which is on State Road 70, out near 75, Palmetto, and that is just on 10th, and the Central Library, which is on 13th, and that's right on the water, and South Manatee, which is on 26th. And I believe our newest, which is a lot of fun, is Rocky Bluff location. And that's on 301, and it's just past 75 on the east side of that. And it's in the old
pizza place
of all things, and it's terrific. So
and you just opened that a few months ago, and it was just a great turnout for there, and people are really anxious to try. And it's a beautiful facility.
It is, and it's got a great spot. It's at plenty of parking and a wonderful building. The county really came together in a very special way to make that happen and to offer something that's truly a community information center.
Well, that can be said of all the libraries that are around. You know, it used to be that libraries were like the center of a community, that people would go there. You know, they would not only be there for books and services, but it would be a gathering place in a community. In this community, that can be said the same for all of our libraries, can't it?
Absolutely. Our meeting rooms are hugely used by the community for condo association meetings. All the not-for-profits get together there and have their group meetings. We offer the AARP groups. They come and they offer tax assistance or driver's programs to help reduce your insurance. And then we also have a vast number of computers at each of the locations, as so many people are unable to afford the internet access. They know they can go to the libraries now and get their work done, apply for jobs, social services, things like that. And of course, all our traditional print resources we've always had, the fiction and the biographies and the large print, those kind of things. But now so much too, we have an online presence. So it's a presence on the internet as well. So you can get your ebooks downloaded from the internet or ask a librarian for help, those kind of things. So it's a bigger, broader sense, but definitely a community.
Sort of like the library is changing with the times.
Absolutely.
Now, are all those services available at each library?
They are. They are. Sometimes in a smaller version. Each library is different. It serves a different demographic, and that demographic caters to what that community's needs are. So some are going to serve more of the children of the area, if that is the biggest area. Palmetto is going to serve a big Spanish-speaking population. The island community is going to serve more of a senior population. Each of them has their own flavor, which makes it pretty terrific, but we all have those same base resources.
And how important is that for a community to have a library there that has all of those resources that you can avail yourself of? Now, recently we were asked to do a public service announcement for one of your job resources that are available at the library, and I had no idea that the library had that kind of scope of thing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. We get asked for help all day long by people that are looking for work because they're told to apply for a job online. It's not like it used to be. You don't go in and take the piece of paper and fill it out and bring it in. So quite often that means they have to learn how to use online resources or even the internet or a computer in general. So they come to us and we help get them jobs. We help find them where the jobs are, apply for jobs, build a resume, those kind of things. And we realized that we couldn't help all these people one at a time. So we decided to put together broader programs for that. That particular program was a really fortunate series. It puts together goodwill Suncoast Services, Job Force, and also Women's Resource Center.
Wonderful.
And library staff. So the first Thursday of every month, you can come and get help finding a job, learn how to interview better, create a resume, and the third Thursday of the month, Suncoast Workforce also comes and brings their van. So we have 2 opportunities every month.
What a great innovative way to utilize the skill and the resources the library have with a need in the community.
And partnerships. We're learning those partnerships are so important to expand our resources. And everybody has something they can offer and throw in the pot and make it a much bigger program, therefore.
Well, and I think that's a very, and we would encourage people to participate in those things because it's readily available. There's no charge for any of that service, is there?
No, no. In fact, that's one of the best things about libraries, that it's fee-free at this point. So whatever we have, we make it available, whether it's a program or a resource, and it's not going to cost you anything additional. It's just part of being part of your community.
Well, you know, fee things, I want to make a mention because you just recently had Fine Forgiveness Week, which was a great thing. Tell us about that, and tell us about some of the innovative things that you did to bring people in to forgive their fines.
Great. We had through May 14th through the 19th, both Sarasota and Manatee libraries got together and decided we wanted to have a fine amnesty or fine forgiveness week. And what we did in Manatee was get our material back. It was our main goal to get our resources back in the library and to promote some goodwill. And in doing so, we were able to clear up 900 plus people's records. We got those resources back, and now they're available for the next user. And the folks that wanted to clear up their record were able to do so by donating either food or personal toiletries or toys, things like that, that would help HOPE, which is the domestic violence shelter, One Stop, which is the homeless shelter, or Animal Services. And so we were able to collect close to 7,000 pounds of donations.
Isn't that
which was pretty awesome.
Terrific. I mean, what a great thing. It's a win-win for the library and for those nonprofits that you reached out to try to help. What a wonderful thought to put that together.
It was a great opportunity, and I'll tell you what, we were just so amazed by how many people it benefited in the long run, and especially when we were able to call each of those groups and say, come pick up your things, and they were blown out of the water by how terrific the outpouring was. And
I'm sure they were very appreciative. You know, in these days, you know, nonprofits are always looking for an extra benefit, and to be able to partner with the library in that is a great benefit. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
One of the things that, to me personally, is that, you know, when my first exposure to the library was a young boy in school, getting your library card was like, you know, like really important. But the library system in Manatee County really does a lot to outreach to young people. Can you talk a little bit about some of the program and services that you offer to families and young people to encourage them to use the library?
Certainly. Our children's staff system-wide, so at every location we have children's staff, and at Central we have a group of them, go out and they go to every one of the Head Starts, and they go to all the preschools, and they work with the kids, they do programs, they do story hours, and just generally let them know about the library and what a great place it is. And then we invite them in, and so they come in with their families or with school tours. We do lap sits, which are story hours for the very youngest, and all the way up through the preschool toddlers. And every summer we have a full summer of summer programming, and that's every week. There is every single library in the system has a program. So literally you could probably take your kids to 3 or 4 different libraries every week and have something for them to do. And
a completely different program.
Exactly.
How exciting is that?
And we do it for the teen level as well, which is pretty terrific. The teens have a book club they can be part of, and then every month they also have some kind of program. And then all summer long, they have their summer reading programs. And the families, we've worked harder to do big programs to get literacy to be a greater part of their family life, and had a lot of fun with that. We're also doing some fun things for the teens, like Manicon comes up in October. And
tell people what Manicon was.
Manicon is pretty terrific. Manga and anime are two different versions that the kids seem to love today. The manga is all the graphic novels, so it's an entire book in what we used to think of as a comic book, but it tells the whole story, and sometimes they're even nonfiction. We have some, for instance, on Niels Bohr, that is a way for maybe a boy who isn't a traditional reader to be able to get a chance to find out more something about a topic. And so anime is the sort of cartoon version of the motion picture of something. So this convention is Manicon, and it's all where the kids can come in. They can come as their favorite character.
Really?
They can learn how to create comic books and graphic novels. They can take classes, and we have all the local vendors come in with their artwork and their jewelry and other information. And it's a full day for them to just come down and enjoy the library in the city of Bradenton.
Well, what a great thing for teens or even preteens to come in and they have an interest in there, and it helps in encouraging reading.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the last one we had last October was, I believe, 360 teens.
Wow.
Which, if you can get that many teens together any place,
with a
that's
shared
pretty
interest.
terrific. Exactly, exactly.
Well, that's very exciting. But you also have a program that, for families to bring their kids in for storytelling, which I think is really important because, it's been said that, you encourage reading at a very young level, it'll carry through the rest of your life. Right. So you have those storytelling programs in all the libraries, and they're free. Exactly.
And we also have kits. We have puppets, anything that will bring it all together. Sometimes we'll do, for instance, the local dairy farmers will help us out, and we'll have a program on milk. And so the kids will come in and we'll have milk and cookies and teach them where milk comes from, or teach them about the oranges, where the oranges come from. Again, partnering with the community and all the wonderful folks that are part of Manatee.
Now, recently you held a town hall meeting with your staff, your senior staff, to talk about some of the initiatives and innovations that you're doing. And one of the things that, to me, that was not a surprise, but it was very encouraging, is the number of speakers that you bring into all of the library branches to talk about different things. And the list is kind of, it's very eclectic. It's a wide variety of things. Can you tell us a little bit about that outreach program?
Certainly. The adult program is kind of fun because we do have a broad range of things that we offer. And we're very fortunate, too, that every one of our friends groups, and we have a friends group that supports every one of our locations.
Now, the friends group is a foundation. It's Friends of the Library. So, tell us a little bit what the friends group is.
Sure. The Friends of the branches, they are a group that support the location and allow it to be able to perhaps be a little bit more creative and to get some more things for its community. So people join the Friends for a very nominal fee. It's usually $5, and then sometimes they get greater donations, and then the Friends groups will buy things for a location maybe that they couldn't otherwise afford. Right. Or they will sponsor a program or a series. For instance, the Island Friends Group does a whole lecture and travel series, and it's named for one of their Friends members that passed in the recent years, Alice Taylor Reed. But they put on amazing programs, everything from wonderful chefs and artists and singers and Oslo readers and authors, all kinds of things come in for it. So it's very interesting, and each of the Friends groups for every library supports them in that way. Maybe they sponsor their children's programs or their teen programs, but always their adult programs. And it's pretty interesting. They have done things like offer CPR classes, which really help the community. Perhaps they bring in information for veterans to get more help, whether it's about how to fill out their paperwork or how to use the resources that they need to, because it's very confusing to try and get through all that paperwork. And sometimes they're just downright fun, or they'll teach people how to cook for two or how to cook for one. Now you've lost your partner after all these years. How do you begin to, reconstruct your life and take care of just those things? So they're a very broad range of programs, but they are always with the best of intentions, and usually a packed house.
And I would encourage people to find out, because each library has a whole series of events going on. And when you were talking a little bit about that during your town hall meeting, it was saying, well, that would be interesting to go to, or I wish I had known a little bit more about this. Right. And people can find that out by going to your website and finding out at each particular location what events are coming up.
We have a monthly calendar of events that they can either view online or they can take as they go to the library on the way out. When they check their books out, there's always pamphlets sitting there that'll tell them month by month, because we have, as I said, 6 libraries, lots of programs. So
it's very exciting, and I think it kind of augments, it enhances what the library does. It brings people into the library, helps them to provide something that will be of particular interest to them, and also exposes them to other services that the library provides. So it's very exciting. I think you're really to be congratulated for the innovation that Speakers Bureau has, and I would think the logistics of just getting a wide variety of people can be pretty overwhelming, but it's pretty diverse.
It is, and it helps too that we don't have any big money to buy things, but quite often people approach us and they say, I have this skill or this interest and I'd be willing to share it. And quite often that's where we get our presenters from. And then the word of mouth goes out. So-and-so will come out and teach origami, for instance. And that becomes, Judy Pruitt comes out and teaches origami at every location. And that's just a labor of love for her, those kind of things.
And I would encourage people to find out by going to the website, which is mymanatee.org/library, and they can find out information, or they can just Google
Manatee Libraries
and find out additional information. But the initiatives and innovations don't just end there. You have a lot more going on in the way of resources. What are some of those major things that you provide each and every day?
Well, I think some of the traditional ones that we're all familiar with are the print resources or the media. And the media ranges from DVDs you can borrow to playaways, which are an entire book on an MP3 player that you would just borrow from us. You put your own battery in and your own earbuds and off you go. You can clip it on and take your walk on the beach, which is terrific.
Wonderful.
You can download ebooks, which is really wonderful. If you have a Kindle, or if you have a Nook, or any number of devices, you can go with your library card to the website and create an account through Overdrive and download books to that, which is pretty terrific as well. So if you're traveling, it's a really easy, simple way to do it. We have audiobooks you can borrow, and goodness, there's any number of things available that probably 5 years ago even weren't even conceived of that are now readily available. A lot of our online resources, you can look up a newspaper article, you can look up a full text of a journal article. So rather than having to come to the library like you used to, you can just log in and go ahead and take a look for whatever your subject is and bring it up, and then you can print it, which is a very big help for the kids that are trying to complete homework assignments. They don't have to go through the torture like we used to look up a bibliographic citation, see if the library owns the magazine, see if the magazine's available, and then see if the copier's working. It's all right there, which makes it very, very simple and effective for them. There's a lot of terrific things that as we begin to look at how to use things. For instance, you can get car repair or even small engine repair schematics or manuals online. You can find health information, alternative health information. For instance, when you go to the doctor and they prescribe something and you are worried about whether it's going to work with the other medications you're already on, you can look those up online. You can find out a little bit more about what to expect when your doctor says your child has this,
such and such, yes.
And those kind of things. So it's really an amazingly broad range of information which is available now. Didn't used to be. And it's all at the right price at the library. It's fee-free.
Well, I must say, recently at your town hall meeting, one of your staff was mentioning the fact that the proliferation of e-devices, Kindles, and whatnot, is that people are coming to the library saying, "How do I work this?"
Right.
And out of their own initiative, they set up classes where you can actually come in and they'll show you how to use your e-folio, your e-book, or your Kindle, or whatever it is, to facilitate, your reading and your borrowing of the material. And I thought that was, just a step in the right direction.
It is. It's kind of fun too, and we've also been able to make use of those kids that are working on Bright Futures, or that just want to volunteer, or adults that want to volunteer, and they can help as well. In fact, we have one young man out at Rocky Bluff, and every Saturday he comes in and he is on schedule there, and people know they can come in and get help on their computer, or they can bring in their e-reader, or they can bring in their phone, or whatever technology is defeating them at the moment, and hand it to the young man. And the same way with our staff. We try and make all that available, but trying to do it one-on-one with the amount of people,
absolutely,
versus the amount of staff we have. So we're working more to get classes for that kind of thing, and we've even put together something called Nooks. We have one at the administration building. We're working on putting one together at GT Bray, and also at the utilities building, where we can also offer little classes as well. Maybe they want to learn how to use Mango languages, or they want one-on-one research help, or they just want a place to go and borrow things. So again, sort of a different
kind of a niche type of little thing.
Exactly.
What a great idea that would be.
Exactly.
Instead of coming to the library, they can go to that site, wherever that might be, and I think GT Bray would be a wonderful location, and they can have a little one-on-one with a library staff. Well, what a great idea.
Sure.
Now, one of the things that you mentioned too is that you have young people that are involved in it. We recently did a public service announcement called Geek the Library, and I see you, iGeek Lifelong Learning button is on. Libraries have like teen advisory boards, and the young women who participated, young ladies who participated in that, were very gung-ho about the library. They were very anxious to get the word out. Now, all of the libraries have those teen advisory councils as well?
We're trying to put them together. It depends on how many teens we have in that community. Braden River is one that we have quite a few teens, so it was a little bit easier there. But yeah, and when they get an initiative like Geek, where they want to talk about what they're passionate about. Some of them are passionate about learning. Some of them are passionate about archery. Whatever it may be, the library is the place they can come to and learn more about that passion, or share that passion with others. So when you see them and the enthusiasm, it's amazing. It really is. And I think that's one of the ways we're trying to head, even with tweens now. And they're that sort of middle group. They're not children, and they're not quite teens yet. The tweens are still very, very happy about the library. They don't think we're so odd yet. So we're working really hard to keep them on board and to offer them programs. Lately, we've done things like Sumi art painting, or duct tape wallets, things like that, along with a book club for them. And
what a great idea! You encourage them in some manner, and then you read them into the into the books and the love of reading.
Exactly.
Ava, obviously there's a great deal of number of resources and services, for everyone. Now, not just for children, not just for adults, but everybody in between. And the number of them just keeps expanding with the, kind of the leadership that you're providing and the initiatives that you're starting. But what do you want our community to know about the value of libraries and the services and the resources that you have? If you were able to tell everyone about your library, what would you say?
I think probably that we nurture imagination, that we encourage lifelong learning, and that we're always looking for better ways to serve the need. We see all the great need out there, and as the need grows, we're always looking for better ways to fill those needs and to help out. We recognize that many times what we have are, in addition to our traditional mandates, we have a lot of unfunded mandates that come our way. So we're always trying to look for better ways to get our arms around those and to be able to better help people. So maybe it's in the form of a class or a program, or it's a way just to get people back involved into the library again, and to recognize that maybe when you have to cancel your cable or your Netflix subscription, that we have some resources like great movies, we have great ebooks, we have all these things, and it's not going to cost you anything additional.
And music, and
exactly.
All of that is available out there. But you have a great staff too.
Oh, darn impressive.
You have a great staff at every level, from volunteers all the way to your senior staff, who are not only anxious but energetic and thorough in their knowledge of the services and resources, and it's at all branches.
Absolutely. The enthusiasm of our staff is always so impressive, and I think we're very much social workers at heart. We're not going to get rich or famous doing what we do, but we do what we love, which is to be able to share information and to teach people how to access it for themselves, and by making them lifelong learners, always being able to help themselves, whatever comes up in life for them, whether it's to work with their children or to find out how to fix the bees in the wall of their house or whatever it may be. It's one of the fun things about being a librarian is we never know what we're going to get asked next.
Well, as I said at the very beginning, a library is a community asset, probably one of the best community assets that any community could have. And Manatee County is very, very fortunate that not only do we have 6 public libraries, but we have a staff and leadership that's really energetic and innovative and outreaching to their community. So, Ava, what I'd like to do is to be able to invite you back, or you and your staff back, to talk about some of the other programs and resources and services that you have. Maybe do some book reviews and tell us what's the latest at the public library.
We'd love it. That'd be great. Anytime, we're happy to share everything we have.
And also talk to some of the young people, too, that encourage other young people to get involved with the library. I think that would be something that we'd be more than happy to participate in.
Super. I appreciate it.
Ava, thank you for joining us. And if people want to find out information, how can they find out?
Well, you can go to our website. You can stop in and see us. There's an Ask a Librarian service, which is an online resource. So if you're stuck in the middle of something at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can still access a librarian. So that's kind of a neat thing to know about as well.
That's a wonderful asset to have as well. Ava, thank you so much, and thank you for just briefly telling us some of the wonderful things that are available at Manatee County Public Libraries. Thank you for joining us on this special edition of Up Close on METV.